Do you want to add a little curve to your next quilting project? Stick around and we'll show you how. Welcome to Handi Quilter Watch and Learn. I'm Kim Sandberg and
I'm Kristina Whitney.
And today we're going to take a look at another classic quilting design, the continuous curve. Now this one has a few other names, so it's also known as like orange pill. And do you know any other names that it's known by?
Those are the two that I hear the most.
Yeah. I know originally when I learned about it, it was all about the orange pill. So I love this design. It's probably a pretty rare quilt that I don't put this on. How about you?
You know me. This goes on pretty much every quilt I do.
Exactly. But it's just such a great design. So let's take a closer look at this. We're going to show you a few different ways to do this. So we're going to start at the board and we'll show you the path that you stitch so that you get this fabulous design quilted out easily, and also how to get in and out of a corner essentially with it. You're going to show us the path so that you start and end at the same point. Is that right?
Yes. I do want to mention I teach classes on this continuous curve, and there are so many different paths that you can take. So I'm only going to show you one today, but there are many other paths that you can take to make it so that you start and end at that same point.
Exactly. All right, well, let's take a look at the board.
Let's do it. Okay, continuous curve is done in a grid. So I'm going to start in my top left corner. You can start wherever you want, but I'm going to start here and I'm going to arc over to the next point, and I'm going to go all the way across the top, arcing over. Ideally, you want to have the space in between here and here and here be equal, but it might be off a little bit if you're doing free motion. Okay, so once I'm here, I'm going to come down, and then I'm going to come over one, and at this point, I'm going to grab my top and down, over left, up, down, over left. And then I'm going to repeat that same path for the next 2 rows. And you'll notice I'm not coming back up yet. So all the way across, down, left, up, down, left, up, down, left, and repeat all the way to the right, down, left, up, down, left, up, down, left. And this is where I'm going to come all the way up to my original starting point to finish it off. Okay, so we've got it all drawn out. Now let's go over to the stationary machine.
Kristina, as she was drawing this out, started up here at the top. I'm going to start down here at the bottom. And I'm going to do a similar path, but just a little bit different because, as she mentioned, there's lots of different ways to do this. So I am going to go over and down, over and down, over and down, and then come up. And on this row going across, instead of coming over and going down, I'm going to come over and I'm going to serpentine across and back. So we're going to do this one up and down and up and stop there. And then I'm going to do the same thing back, creating that design, that curved design. And then I'm going to go ahead and move up and do the next row. So do a little bump out and then up and down and up and down, and then we can work my way back. I'm going to go up. And this time when I come over here, I need to grab this part of the design here. So I'm going to do that serpentine and come down and then work my way back up. Up. And I'm going to go down and cross over, down, cross over, touch at the bottom there, swing back up. And just touch at the top there and then move over and do that next row. And then to complete it, I'm going to come back up over this way and then come down the side, and I'm back where I started. And there we go. It's all stitched out. And that's another option for a continuous curve path. All right, let's head over to the Amara 20 and take a look at Kristina doing this with rulers.
Okay, for this one, I'm going to use a half circle. This is the 5-inch, and you can use any kind of a curve, a ruler that you want to do this, depending on how deep you want the curve to come in. So I'm going to take it around behind, and I will point out that I have my Surefoot on as well as my ruler base for safety, and I've got my center kind of eyeballing the center of my block and 1/4 of an inch away on the other end. And I'm going to stitch it along, pause the machine and shift over, do the same thing. And you'll notice that this takes a little bit more time doing it with rulers than it does to do it free motion, but you get a little bit more precision out of it. Okay. Now I am going to use the same path that I drew, just because it's easier to not have to flip my ruler back and forth to do that serpentine. But that serpentine that Kim did on the stationary machine is a fabulous pathway as well. Okay, and then I'm going to take it up and down. Coming over. Woo! And the more precise that you want it to be, the more time that you need to take to get everything positioned. So now I'm going to come all the way across. And down. Okay, we'll just do this last row here and then call it good. Okay, now I'm going to go up the side. One thing that I really like about this design is that you can do it as big or small as you want, and you can cover as much fabric as you want. So you could do an entire quilt using this design or just a little small space. Okay, that is with rulers, and now we're going to jump over and do some ProStitcher.
All right, let's go find a continuous curve design. So there's a few in the ProStitcher library. My favorite one, or I should say my go-to one, is here in continuous, let's see, it's called right here. It's called Orange Pills in the continuous curve. And you can see here that this is a little bit of a different look of it. It's actually on an angle instead of straight up and down. We're going to go in and do a repeat. How about if we make this 3 by 3? There we go. We'll baseline it, and then we're going to go in and skew this in so that it will fill the space.
And you've already created your area.
Yes, I already set up the area, so that's good to go. So you can see that this is that same design, only the way we stitched it before was as if we had the grid running through this way. It's like we rotated it. So this is another way that you can do that continuous curve, is rotate it, and you get a little bit of a different look there. And you can see how nicely the ProStitcher just fills in the space. All right, we're gonna go ahead and stitch this out. And you'll see a different stitch path this time than what we've done before. right, and we'll stitch out the second row so that you can really see that pattern, see that continuous curve pattern pop. So let's take a look at this design now. I'll clip the thread and move this out of the way real quick. So you can see this is just like this design, it's just rotated. So it's as if we have those lines drawn straight through like this. So if you want your continuous curve to look like this, you can take a grid like this and just rotate it 90 degrees, and then this is the way it will look on the quilt.
Perfect. Love it.
That was fun.
I love continuous curve.
I do too.
And I especially love when we do the ProStitcher right after like my free motion and stuff so we can compare.
Remember, apples and steak, they're different. They're still both food groups, but they're different.
Free motion is more organic.
Yes.
Even when you're using rulers, it's not always perfect, but
That's okay.
it's fantastic.
It is.
It's all good.
It is. Well, this is a really fun design, and we can't wait to see what you do with it on your next quilting projects. Be sure to give us a like and subscribe, and be sure to check the link below so that you can join the Handi Quilter Community Facebook group. Have fun quilting.